Everybody. My
Mm.
name is Sam Drury. I am a social media editor for the Daily Mirror, and I'm joined here by an extremely special guest. We should all feel very lucky to be in his presence. All the way from the North Pole is none other than Santa Claus. How are you doing, Santa Claus?
I'm doing very well, Sam, and it's lovely to see you again. You're looking well.
Good. It's glad. I'm very glad to see you as well. It's very good to hear from you. You know, it's been a very strange year this year, Santa Claus. I'm sure, just like everybody else over here in England, it must have been very different in the North Pole. How actually was it for you guys?
Well, to be perfectly honest, Sam, it's very quiet up in the North Pole, and
Oh,
so
really?
the lockdown didn't really affect us too much because there's nowhere to go anyway,
Yeah.
and the chance of seeing another person is quite remote up in the North Pole. So we were all in our own little bubble.
So you're all extremely safe, and the production line has been exactly the same for the elves, the reindeer. How are they feeling?
Well, we had a little bit of a setback. Four of the elves were, in fact, they failed their COVID test,
Oh dear.
which I was a bit surprised about because they managed to pass their GCSEs. But we got all that sorted out. They went into isolation and then they came back to work at the North Pole. And then we've been in our bubble ever since.
So you have,
And of course, the reindeer are just so excited. As soon as I do this, Sam, ready to go.
so
Can't
you,
do that for too long, obviously.
so you have been self-isolating during the
Oh,
time
yes, yeah.
in preparation.
Just to be on the safe side. And also, I've got what we call our Santaizer, and the whole sleigh has been redesigned so that we've got enough Santaizer for a whole week. So no problem there come Christmas Eve. So we've been, and also, of course, I'm going to be wearing a very special mask. Yeah, so we've been taking lots and lots of precautions to
Yes.
make sure that everyone's going to be safe. Yeah.
We've just had a little comment coming on Facebook. Anybody who is watching us this evening on Facebook Live, please just drop us a comment with any questions that you have for Santa. This one comes in from Jade Louise. It's just a quick hello. Would you be able to say hello to Scarlett and William and wish them happy Christmas?
Absolutely. Scarlett, William, hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I know what you're thinking. It's very early, but there's only, I think it's 23 more sleeps, I think, until Christmas. So it's all getting very excited.
And it's not been very well. Kathy's very kind. Thank you very much. You're very kind. But Santa's much more, I can assure you. With that in mind, there isn't very long until Christmas, and I'm sure you're getting letters in their droves at the moment. What makes the perfect letter to Santa for all the kids out there?
A perfect letter. Make sure it's signed, of course, because you'll be amazed how many people don't bother to sign their letter, and it causes all sorts of problems. So nicely written, but make sure you sign the letter. Yeah.
Okay. And can you please wish Caitlin a happy Christmas as well? That's from Leoma.
Yeah, I certainly will. Merry Christmas, Caitlin. Have a wonderful time. Nice to see you.
And she sat there at home with a very big smile. Well, I mean, we're all here to hear your question, hear your answers to these questions and things like that as well. But there is something else that we're here to hear from you. You're here to read a story for us, aren't you?
Yes, I am going to read a story. Yeah, and I just want to mention, Sam, that I could have asked Caitlin what she wanted for Christmas, but if she writes it down on a letter and posts it to me at the North Pole, that'd be even better. It's an absolute minefield asking young people what they want for Christmas. For instance, last year I asked this young lady what she wanted for Christmas, and she was 8 years old, and she said she wanted anything frozen. Well, of course, I got her a bag of peas. And she sent a very nasty letter to Mrs. Claus, which I was about to reply to, but Mrs. Claus said, no, we don't want the media to get hold, no offense, could cause, open a can of worms. So that's the sort of thing that can happen.
With that in mind,
I've just noticed Jamie, age 7. Yes, Jamie, you were one of the lovely people that signed your letter. So well done, Jamie. Got the letter. It's in the system, and it's all sorted.
With that in mind, what is one of the strangest things that you've ever received as in your letters for Christmas?
One of the strangest things I've ever received in my letters now then. Well, there are so many, to be quite honest, I could write a book. I mean, the thing is, this year, you see, we've got the elves. We've got more elves than we normally have, because what we're going to do, we're going to load the presents onto the sleigh, Sam, a few days before Christmas Eve to make sure that everything's safe for when I deliver them. But yeah, you'll be amazed the sort of things people ask for. Probably best to keep it a secret, to be honest.
Well, Amy Louise asks, how many elves do you actually have in your stable at the moment? How many are actually there over in the North Pole?
Well, we have had to take on extra people this year because we have been super busy. Yeah, so altogether, I think we've got about 23 elves at the moment. And don't forget, they've been so good that this year they've been helping me with my calls because, as you know, you can ring me and have a chat with me face to face on santascallingyou.co.uk. And you can also ring up and have a chat with one of my elves. It's the first time we've ever done this. And of course, the elves, they've got a lot to say for themselves. And you can talk to Mrs. Claus as well. That'd be quite an experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that they will be asking you, I'm sure, Becky, Bobby, Robbie, and Finley all ask, "How are you, Santa, at the moment?"
I'm very well, Robbie. Thank you, Finley, for asking. We're keeping safe up here in the North Pole, and we're all going to be abiding by the rules when we leave the North Pole on Christmas Eve. So stay safe, everybody. Follow the rules. Keep washing your hands. We're doing all that, of course, making sure everything's going to be above board.
Pauline asks, my son wants to know if it's a mask with Rudolph on like his.
Who's got a mask? Oh,
you can see down in the comments just below.
David. Question for yes. It's very similar. It's very similar to that one, David. Yeah. Mine's a bit more sort of see-through because I don't want people not to recognize me, you see.
Yes. Just thinking about it, we had a couple of questions earlier on in the evening as well, just from a couple of people. From Lisa, who commented earlier, can you bring me a puppy this year?
A puppy? Well, the only problem with puppies, Lisa, they keep jumping out the sleigh. That's the problem with them. But I can't promise, but I'll do my very best.
And down below, you can see Ellie and Skylar ask, how do the reindeer fly?
How well, of course, this is where the Christmas magic comes in, Skylar and Ellie. Yeah, that's the reason they're able to fly, of course, is that they are very special reindeer. In fact, they're in training at the moment. They're on a very strict diet and we exercise every day, but it's Christmas magic. That's where that comes in.
And what does the diet consist of?
Well, it's mainly vegetarian. They love reindeer food, and of course they love carrots. So don't forget, boys and girls, and all the other youngsters, and the big boys and girls as well. If you could leave a few carrots out for them, that would be a big help on the night.
Is there anything that you'd like left out for you?
Well, just a glass of milk this year, Sam, to be honest. So I had a bit of a nasty experience on the M4 last year. Okay. So a glass of milk and maybe a mince pie, but don't go to any trouble. But that would be most nice.
Samantha asks, can you please give a big hello to Logan, who's age 8? He thinks he's on the naughty list at the moment. He's really, really worried.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, let's put that straight away now. Logan, and you're 8. Well, that's strange because I was 8 when I was your age. So that's something we've got in common. No, you're not on the naughty list, Logan. Don't you worry about that. You might be on the nearly nice list, but I think by Christmas you'll definitely be on the nice list. I've got a nearly nice list and a nice list, and you're just hovering between the two. So don't worry about that.
Susanna asks, carrying on from what we were discussing earlier, you just wanted a glass of milk. Harry and Hannah, they want to know if we need to leave hand sanitizer outside for you.
No, don't worry about that, Hannah and Harry, because as I mentioned earlier, we've had the sleigh specially equipped. So I've got a big tank of, we call it Santaizer. So I don't need you to leave out any Santaizer because I'm going to be bringing my own. It's one of the stipulations of being able to deliver all around the world this year.
Ellie down below asks, it's been it's obviously a really busy time of year for you now. But I'd like to just ask, what exactly does that really, really busy time of year look like for you right now? What does it involve?
Well, of course, we don't sleep very much at the moment, Sam. But of course, up at the North Pole, there's hardly any daylight at all. So it's pretty much 24 hours darkness. No, we're very busy at the moment. In fact, we are so busy this year. We've had to open a distribution centre in the middle of Milton Keynes to save me going back to the North Pole at any point. We've got this Milton Keynes distribution centre, and now all we've got to do now is find it.
You must be struggling to keep the elves awake if you're in perpetual darkness like that. I imagine they're a little bit cheeky. Are they trying to get away with a couple of hours where they don't need to get all the work done?
They're not a little bit cheeky, Sam. They're very cheeky, and they're quite naughty as well. So, yeah, we have to keep a very close rein, not only on the reindeers, but on the elves as well. So don't forget, you can ring up and have a chat with one of the elves. That might be a fun thing to do. santascallingyou.co.uk. Check it out, and you can have a chat with an elf. What a lovely moment that would be.
We just had a previous comment actually on the topic of the elves. What are they up to whilst you're out on Christmas Eve?
Well, that's where they get to have a good rest, of course. They've been working so hard that they can actually put their feet up and take it easy for that evening. Yeah. All their work will be done by then, of course, and it's all down to me and the reindeer.
And what happens for everybody on Christmas Day? I mean, it's the culmination of an extremely long year for you guys once again. What does Christmas Day look like? What are you guys doing?
Well, of course, we go back to Mrs. Claus. She does us a slap-up meal, and yeah, it's all quite normal, really, Sam. I know a lot of people think, we live a very strange life. Then, of course, we'll be planning for our holiday, you see. I normally go and sit on a beach in France. Of course, I don't wear this suit. I've got like a linen suit that I wear when I go on holiday. And, yeah, we're quite normal. When it's not Christmas, we're quite just like other people. And the good thing about in France, there's loads of old men in long hair and beards, and I just sort of fit in, really. I notice your beard. I notice your beard's coming on, Sam. It's a lot better than it was last year.
Thank you very much. It's not quite as strong as yours. Maybe one day I'll reach there. Maybe one day. Tara says, Benjamin says hello, Santa. He's extremely excited for Christmas.
Oh, that's what we want. But don't peak too soon, Benjamin. Don't peak too soon. But yeah, excitement. That's the sort of response we're looking for. So nice to see you, Benjamin. Have a lovely Christmas.
And Jade asks from Liliana, I believe it is, did you receive our letter? Just to put their minds at rest.
Well, to be honest, we've only ever had one letter from someone called Liliana, because it's a very unusual name. Beautiful name. Yes, we have received your letter, Liliana. No problem there.
Fantastic. And another little hello there from Annie. She asks, would you be able to say hello to my daughter, Renna? She's very upset she didn't get to sit on Santa's lap last year.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear about that, Raina. And Annie, yes, of course I will. Hello, Raina. And I know you've been a very good girl because your mum told me. But of course, to be honest, I already knew that. But yeah, sorry we can't actually meet up. But you can always chat to me, Raina, on santascallingyou.co.uk if you ever want to talk to me personally. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas if I don't see you before Christmas Eve.
And you also spoke about the reindeer earlier. Jenny and Annabelle would like to know, how old is Rudolph? And
he doesn't like me mentioning his age. He's a little bit sensitive about it, but he's, let's just say he's as old as his tongue, but not quite as old as his teeth. Okay, so I don't want to upset Rudolph because he's very sensitive, especially with that big red nose.
Why is he so sensitive about the big red nose?
Well, you see that as part of their exercise regime, they've been playing hide and seek. And of course, poor old Rudolph, he can't hide anywhere. You spot him straight away, you see. So he's a bit disappointed that he hasn't been able to win a single game of hide and seek for the last 6 months.
Oh, that's a shame. But it's a great feature. Let's be honest.
It's true. It's true. We couldn't do without him. We couldn't do without Rudolph, of course. Yeah, he's fantastic.
We've just had a little comment in from Heather. Alex, who's 6, says, "Have you ever put glitter in your beard, in your hair and your beard?"
Alex, I've never tried it. It might be worth a try. Yeah, I'll have a word with Mrs. Claus,
Mm.
and do you think it might sort of set me off? Do you think? Yeah,
I
I'll
think so.
mention that.
I think you should also add like Christmas decorations in there as well. I think that'd be a fantastic look for you.
Oh, right. Well, of course. Well, I'm wide open to ideas. Anything new, I'm all for it. Yeah, okay, Sam, no problem.
Mm.
I'll try it.
Santa, out of interest, when did you start wearing glasses?
When did I start wearing?
Yeah.
Well, I was about 10 years old when I started wearing glasses, to be honest. In fact, this is still the same pair. Yeah, I suppose I ought to check them out, really. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think I should have got changed to contact lenses or something, Sam? What do you reckon?
No, I think it's a very classic look. I think it looks
Yeah,
great. I
well,
think it looks great on you. I like it a lot.
that's very kind of you to say so.
Isla, who's 4, said the
Right.
reindeer elves are very, very cute.
Oh, yeah.
Isla also asks, who's the naughtiest reindeer?
Oh, now then. Well, of course, as you know, and look, do you know, a lot of people don't know this, Sam, but there are 9 reindeer altogether. There's Dancer, Prancer, Dasher, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Dancer. He can be a bit of a handful sometimes. So just between you and I, Isla, I'm going to say that Dancer is probably the naughtiest reindeer, but just keep that between you and I. I don't want to upset him.
Isla also just wants to check, did you get her Christmas list this year? She's asking for a kitchen.
Right, a kitchen. Do you know, not many people ask for a kitchen, to be honest, Sam. So, yeah, Isla, no problem. We got your list. And leave it with me. Like I say, I never promise, but I'll do my very best.
Another message from Lucy Parrott. Santa, Ella Louise asks, is she on the naughty or the nice list?
Well, what a strange question. Ella, how could you possibly be on the naughty list? No, you've bypassed the naughty list. You went on the nearly nice list, and you'll be pleased to know that you are on the nice list. No problem there.
Brilliant. Please, can you say hello to Oliver Cooper in Plymouth? He is 3 and he's very, very excited this year.
Oh, jolly good. And Plymouth, what a beautiful part of the world. I love Plymouth, and we really enjoy flying over the Plymouth Hoe when we arrive there. We usually have a few laps round the Plymouth Hoe before we actually settle. We normally park the reindeer and the sleigh at the football ground there. And then we do all our deliveries. Yeah, so yeah, no problem there. Lovely to see you in Plymouth very soon. Beautiful part of the world.
Alongside Plymouth, where else do you enjoy flying over? Do you like it? Do you like going past Oxford Street in London, Blackpool? Where do you like?
I love it. I tell you, you get a strange perspective when you're up in the air, Sam. You really do. You don't realise how beautiful everywhere is. Yeah, lots of beautiful places.
Samantha, she says, Ethan, who's 5, wants to know what you and the elves have got on your Christmas lists.
Oh, now then. Well, Ethan, that's a very good question, as Boris Johnson always says. That's to give him time to think of the answer, of course. But what have we got on our Christmas list? Well, of course, all the elves they'll be watching, but we normally have what we call a Secret Santa. Secret Santa, very popular. So that's what we do for our Christmas presents. But I couldn't possibly divulge what I bought all the elves this year. It was spoil the surprise. We all like surprises, don't we, Ethan? Boo! There's one for you.
I mean, we did it also in the office for us last year. It was absolutely brilliant. Everybody got some absolutely great gifts. But we also very, very happy to get the presents that we got from you as well. So we thank you for that. Everyone at the Mirror thanks you.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Kieran Appleby asks, do you like the PlayStation? Are you after the PS5 this Christmas?
You know, I've already got it. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I recommend it highly.
I'm guessing so many kids across the country are going to be asking for it from you as well this year. It's going to be difficult for you to get hold of it for everybody, but I mean, it's got to be the most sought after present this year, hasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I say, I never promise because, yeah, it can be very difficult to get hold of some of these popular presents. Of course, Lego, always popular. And yeah, I'll do my very best, but I won't promise if that's okay with you.
That's no problem. That's no problem at all. Although I have got it on my list, so you know who to. You know, come on.
Oh, well, you've cut out the middleman here, Sam. It's a once in a lifetime chance. You've requested one direct from me, so I'll do my very best.
When I've got friends in high places, I've got to, I've got to take my opportunities.
Absolutely.
Lucy asks, do you get a Christmas present of Mrs. Claus every year?
Oh yes, yes. It's a sort of a tradition, really. Yeah, she usually buys me some hair conditioner or something like that, and yeah, she always buys me a little gift. Yeah, we're very romantic up in the North Pole. There's nothing much else to do, to be honest.
Do you like to keep it quite, do you like to keep it quite quaint and quite minimal when it comes to the presents between each other each Christmas?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. We've been together for such a long time now, and we always buy each other a little gift. I always keep it a secret what I buy Mrs. Claus. In fact, if you wanted to have a word with Mrs. Claus, you could ask her that very question. If you call santascallingyou.co.uk, you could speak directly to Mrs. Claus. That'd be a nice moment.
Maybe you can give it. Maybe everybody can give us some inspo on what to buy you at Christmas as well. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
That's right. Yeah, I'm getting a bit fed up with the shampoo and conditioner, to be honest. So yeah, any other ideas you could give to Mrs. Claus? Yeah, I'd be all for it.
Any hints? Anything you'd like?
Anything? To be honest, I'm thinking of having a new look for next year. And I'm open to suggestions. That's the sort of person I am, Sam.
Well, Elaine asks, Santa, can you please say hi to Calum, please? He's age 5.
Calum. Hello, Calum. Know you're being good. So lovely to see you on here, and look forward to seeing you on Christmas Eve. And Calum, if you could try and get to sleep nice and early, and that goes for all the other youngsters as well, because if I come in and you're wide awake, we'll only get chatting, and the next thing you know, it's Easter. And I'll be in big trouble.
That sounds great, though. Chatting with you until Easter sounds brilliant. Jade asks, will you be joining in ringing the bells on Christmas Eve? I'm sure you're going to be leading it in order to help.
Oh yes. I've got my bells here. There we are. I won't do that for too long in case the reindeer think we're off. So I'll be ringing my bells, of course, on Christmas Eve.
Very good. And I hope Jade will be as well. A question that we had earlier on in the evening, before we went live, it was from Claire. She asked, can you make it snow this Christmas, please?
Well, I'll do my very best. Of course, we've got loads of snow up here in the North Pole, but it's not always easy to make it snow all over the world on the same day. But yeah, leave it with me and I'll do my very best.
Where's it easiest to make it snow on Christmas Eve? I'm sure somewhere like New York is definitely the easiest.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, New York pretty much guarantees snow. Of course, it's always very cold up here in the North Pole. We're about 20 degrees below at the moment, so it feels like 30, to be honest. But that's how we like it. I spend most of my time outdoors, as you probably know.
You must have your snow jacket. Absolutely, you're fine going up. No problems.
Yeah, no such thing as bad weather, just the way you dress.
Yes, of course. Shannon asks, my son Mackay, he's 4. She asks, what is Santa's favourite food?
What's my favourite food? Oh, just between you and I, Mackay, I do like a bit of spaghetti bolognese, but I have to be very careful, otherwise it can get very messy. So yeah, nice bit of spaghetti bolognese. That's what I like.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan as well. Mark Wilson, he says, son, can you say hello to Charlie Wilson? He would like to know if you like Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, Elf on the Shelf. I love it. Yeah. Hello, Charlie Wilson. Nice to see you. Yes, I would recommend that, Elf on the Shelf. Yeah, they're very interesting, the elves. They're worth having a chat to.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Santa. It's been absolutely great having you. But I believe you're going to be telling us a story.
Yes, I am. It's a lovely Christmas story. It's written by a beautiful lady named Sarah Greenwell. And it's called Elf's First Adventure. And she writes some beautiful stories all about elves. It gives you a little insight. Elfforchristmas.co.uk. That's where you can have a further look at the book. But yeah, I'm going to read this beautiful story, Sam, if that's okay with you, just to get us into the Christmas mood.
No problem. Take it away.
Okay, so here we go. Now then. Right, here we are. Now then, this is all about an elf, and it's his first time in the North Pole, so it's his first adventure. And it goes like this. Here we go, everyone. A little elf was out exploring on a snowy evening stroll, admiring the fairy tale scenery at the faraway North Pole. All of Santa's other elves visited children far and wide, but our little elf felt lonely. What about me? He cried. Oh, now Santa Claus had noticed little elf was feeling sad. What can I do to make him smile? It can't be all that bad. I know, thought Santa to himself, how to make our elf feel better. I'll give him some exciting jobs. I'll write them in a letter. Please put stripes on the candy canes, all of them red and white. Wrap ribbon round the parcels too to make them nice and bright. Next, you can help my reindeer and teach them all to fly. And please knit the snowman a hat and scarf to keep him warm and dry. Elf sailed through all his Christmas jobs, and as soon as they were done, that's it, thought Elf, feeling excited. I'm off to have some fun. Elf left his home at bedtime, soaring through the night sky. Like a twinkling star, he flew past the moon. He was up so very high. Suddenly, Elf's ears pricked up at the snoring of a little girl and boy. Finally, he'd found a family, and it filled his heart with joy. All at once, the girl woke up, and the little boy did too. Nice to meet you, said little Elf. How do you do? What on earth? Exclaimed the girl. You've landed in our house. Small visitors are rare round here, though we did once have a mouse. Elf looked around their cosy home. His eyes, they filled with glee. Perhaps I can just stay a while, and perhaps you will love me. Elf settled down to stay until Christmas. He would bring kindness and fun. But most importantly, while Elf was staying, a special job had to be done. Little Elf watched all behavior to prepare for Santa's nice list. It was a very big and important job, and no one could be missed. Elf flew back to Santa with a nightly report. The children are doing so well, but most of all, they were being kind, and that is what Elf should tell. Elf did all sorts, spreading magic and fun. The days were never dull. The children played together nicely, so their stockings would be fun. On Christmas Eve around the world, excitement was underway. Little Elf flew to the North Pole to prepare for Christmas Day. The children thanked their little friend for all that he had done. You're such a lovely, caring elf. You have been so much fun. Oh, really? Said the little elf. You flatter me, you really, truly do. My motto is, if you're kind to others, then they'll be kind to you. Hurry, our little elf had succeeded. His mission was all done. Santa's sleigh was packed that night with gifts for everyone. So please remember, it's so important that whatever you may do, if it's nearly Christmas, please be good. Elf has his eye on you. Oh, that's a bit spooky, isn't it? And there's a bit of a layout there, Sam, of our little sort of area at the North Pole. As you can see, we're all socially distanced. So there we are.
Absolutely fantastic. What a lovely, lovely story.
It is a lovely story. Sarah Greenwell, she wrote it, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it was Elf's First Adventure, wasn't it? Which you can find
That's the one. That's the one.
elfforchristmas.co.uk. That's elfforchristmas.co.uk. Well, thank you so much, Santa. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm sure everyone appreciates having you here today. What would you like to say to everybody in the lead up to Christmas?
Well, I'd just like to say to everyone, it's going to be a bit of a different Christmas this year, but have a wonderful time, look after each other, and always remember it's not what's under the tree, it's who's gathered around the tree this year. That's what we want everybody to know, okay? So look after yourselves, everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas, and thank you very much indeed for joining in. That's what Christmas is all about. Everybody joining in. Take care of yourself, Sam, and give my regards to everyone at the Daily Mirror, all your lovely readers. They're all very nice. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. I'll see you soon, and I'll see you guys soon as well. Have a great evening. Thank you.